the title of the show is literally, it's the 70 Deadly Sins, and it started kind of as a joke. There is a lot to say about that as well. But it started kind of as a joke, but at some point we decided, and this is always part of my practice, is I take jokes very seriously. So we decided to really do it, to really have 70 vignettes or 70 mini pieces, and the material for these pieces stemmed from improvisations that we had. So Ethan and I asked everyone to prepare, before the workshop, to prepare one piece of music that they love and one piece of music that they hate, so that we can have some kind of a conversation around preferences and taste and history. And this became the base for the material we worked with in the workshop, and somehow became part of the show as well.
Because in the beginning it was such a simple task to bring one piece you love and hate, but it's so complex somehow. And also the spaces in between love and hate, I think it was super interesting, and still a lot of pieces are
in the show.
In here.
I love that we are pointing at it because this is the show. It's right here.
When we spoke together, he was speaking about that your approach is more, you know.
Yeah.
You don't care about less is less, because we were quite minimalistic at this time, reducing stuff, you know, working with deconstruction of music material. And he said more is more. Let's do something like a big show. Yeah. And this convinced me completely. Yeah. And I think this is also exactly what we're doing. It's more and more. Too. And I think we as Kaleidoskop, we never. It's a completely different way of approaching a production, and it's super interesting. It's challenging. It's overwhelming. I mean, if Ariel says we are like every day we are rehearsing 10 sketches, and 70 is already a megalomaniac number, something like this.
Something about more is more. When we from the very first time that we met, I think, or we spoke, I really told Boram, I was like, I want you guys to play music. Yeah. Because you play so beautifully. I'm not going to be out here telling you to make noises on these instruments. Also, you will also make noises, but I want to celebrate the virtuosity. I want to celebrate your history in a way.
What we hear is always an encounter somehow, which is dynamic.
And the repertoire is also pretty big. No, I mean, I don't know enough the history, but we have like stuff which are super modern, like even Pauline Oliveros.
Exactly.
And Dvorak. I think from Ethan it was definitely jazz. Mm-hmm. Folk was very important for him, and noise. Ethan is very connected to noise. From my side, it would be more pop, musical theater. We even have a musical theater number, and we have a traditional Jewish, psalm, which is kind of like a folk. It's like a folk song. So it's a really huge variety.
It's huge, and there's still always space for improvisation. I think within it will always sound a little different.
It will also sound a bit different.
Nice. We have to always be aware.
Yeah. We kind of landed on the idea of creating a very science fiction-y, otherworldly, other-planetary terrain somehow.
And I think this is maybe where sins and sense comes in, because the 70 Deadly Sins was not only a joke, but it's also a reference for us to play with this word of sin and sense. In German, it's Sinn. So the sensual part. Also the textures of the costumes, of the music somehow. Yes. And I think the science fiction world with the instruments, they bring together like a very special kind of atmosphere, I think. Yeah,
it's very strange. It's a very strange exchange, that's what I feel. And also speaking of sins and senses and otherworldly or different variations of what the body can do, we also try with the costumes in different ways to, first of all, play with the familiar and the strange. So some costumes will look like something very concrete, and some will look a bit more strange or twisted. And we also play with hiding the face. And so will be different masks and like different head and face elements to kind of play with this. So that as soon as we disrupt the face, the body also behaves in a different way or perceived in a different way.